Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to my Trying a New Makeup Product Everyday series. Today I am so excited to be trying out the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. So this is a super high rated primer and I love the brand e.l.f. Plus I love trying out primers, and I got this in my sample gift with purchase bag from my recent huge Ulta haul, which of course I have the unboxing video up here on my YouTube channel. But the full size of this primer retails for $10, which is more on the affordable side. I feel like e.l.f. is not as affordable as it maybe used to be, but compared to other makeup that you can get at Ulta, much more affordable. And I love a grippy primer. That's what this is all about. But it also has hyaluronic acid in it, which is one of my favorite skincare ingredients. And so that will help retain moisture as well. This is also vegan, cruelty-free, non-comedogenic, meaning it will not clog your pores and cause breakouts. So let's go ahead and get into this. I always test out my primers with a foundation, and I always test them out just on one side of my face so that we can compare the difference. But so my skin right now, I'm having a pretty good skin day, I'd say. But overall, my chin is where I'm most dry. I've got the large pores along my nose and my cheeks. My forehead is a little bit more, tends to get a little bit more greasy, but today it does not seem very greasy. It's more cold and dry today. So my forehead is just like normal. My cheek is normal. So I'll have a lot of different areas to test how this is on different types of skin. And so this is such a cute little sample size. And it says to apply it with your finger because it'll help warm it up and seep into the skin better. So I just took like about a pea-size amount. Let's see how this is as I apply it to half of my face. Oh my gosh, the gel texture. It did throw me off a little bit because it's a little bit thicker than the gels that I have used before, but no issues blending it out right now. But it also, it didn't blend as far as I was expecting because that pea-size amount was really only enough to do this one cheek and half of my nose and chin. I can feel it. Oh, I can feel it getting really tacky as it's setting down and blending in. Wow. I feel like I could literally stick a piece of paper on my cheek and it would stay. This is the tackiest, stickiest, grippiest primer I feel like I've ever used, which is not a bad thing. So now I'm going to pick up a little bit more to apply to the forehead. Since this is so sticky and tacky, it's not the type of primer that I would wear alone. I feel like this really needs to be worn with foundation so that it can really grip onto the foundation and make the makeup last all day long. And I'm going to be going in with the same foundation that I always use when I review primers, which is the LA Colors Truly Matte Long Wearing High Pigment Foundation, just because this foundation really shows how your skin is underneath. But also I have, as you can see, redness on my cheeks, so I like to cover up the redness, but this foundation on its own is more like a medium coverage, so it'll be interesting to see if I get more coverage on the side with the primer, since it really can grab onto the foundation, get really tacky, and that's what I'm hoping for. I would say that visibly this primer on my skin is very invisible. Even the finish on my skin, it didn't make it more glowy, it didn't make it more matte, it really looks the same as my skin without it. The pores, I would say overall look the same, maybe just a little bit of a smoother layer on top, but we'll see how the pores look with the foundation on. But so overall, yeah, not a primer that I think is worth wearing alone, but let's see how it is with the foundation. I can't stop feeling the tackiness. It's so funny. It's so sticky. And so I'm just going to start out by applying the foundation to the side of my face without the primer so that we have it to compare to. And I'm not mixing any of the primer in on this side. Okay, foundation is applied to half of my face. Let's see how it is on top of this grippy primer now. It definitely does seem to be sticking down really nicely as I'm patting the foundation onto the primer and my skin. I am noticing more coverage already with the primer versus without it, because you can see like the redness still showing on my cheeks. I feel like I have a bit more coverage over the redness on this side. And using a grippy primer like this is a good way to save your products too, so you're not wasting as much. You're able to get more coverage from using the same amount of foundation. I am noticing also the pores. The texture does look smoother with the primer versus without it. So I wouldn't say it completely filled in the pores, but it did create a smoother layer. So the skin looks slightly less textured with the primer versus without it. I don't feel like it really is making like my chin look any more hydrated, but it also does not look dry. It's very interesting to me how the finish of the skin, like the glowiness, the matte, like it stayed the same with the primer, which is kind of nice that it didn't alter the finish of my skin or my makeup. So with foundation applied now, I am liking this primer. It's nothing too dramatically different. Like the difference with it versus without it is very slight, slightly more coverage, slightly smoother, but I'm definitely going to continue wearing this for the rest of the day so that I can give it a wear test, and I will update the description down below with how the foundation wears with the primer versus without it. I will say that I personally don't have the type of skin where foundation really like falls off, comes off throughout the day, but maybe if you do have that type of skin, maybe more greasy skin, this would make a more visible difference. For me, if I do see any difference as the day goes on, I'm expecting it should be pretty minimal, just like all of the other differences I've seen with this primer, but we're gonna find out. However, if you have tried out this primer, knowing everyone's skin is different, I would love to hear in the comments down below how it worked out for you. And thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the makeup that I try every day. And I will see you tomorrow in my next video.